Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records, and now learning today that Neal, Schon of Journey, says that Cain has quit the band. After years and years of turmoil, now Neal Schon has gotten Jonathan Cain to quit, too. It's interesting. A couple weeks ago, he said there's going to be some big surprises and planning big surprises for the 2026 tour. He says things like, we're going to get into some longer shows and deeper cuts and tracks, and it's going to sound more like 1978, even though they're not going to play, he says this. We won't go all the way back to the very beginning, but I'd say from 1978 on, we're going to dig deep, and the sets are going to be longer. He says this, which leads me to wonder if Greg Raleigh's coming back, for some of those tracks that Arnell and Greg could sing, feeling that way, things like that. Just the same way, those duet songs. And now we're learning that Jonathan Cain has quit the band. And Jonathan Cain hasn't said anything yet. He's been in the band since 81, right? He came on for the Escape album. He co-wrote those classic songs. Neal Schon says on social media that Neal Schon, is nowhere near done. Again, Schon has already mentioned plans a tour in 26 after they took a year off in 25, right? The most recent album, Freedom, that came out in 22 is produced in part by Narada Michael Walden, who co-wrote a lot of the songs. It's interesting. It's unclear who's going to replace Cain, if in fact this is all true. God, it feels like Greg Raleigh has to come back. So what are you going to do? You going to go out and do a big tour with just Neal Schon and Arnell and longtime drummer Dean Castronova? You've already let Steve Smith go. You've already let original bassist go. You've let most of your classic lineup go. Of course, Steve Perry's not coming back. Of course, Ross Valerie on bass. Do you bring Ross Valerie back? Do you bring Greg Raleigh back? Do you celebrate that era? We know that Dean can sing his ass off and play drums. Do you dare bring Steve Smith back and really get back into 1978? To kick Dean out again? I think Steve Smith probably has all kinds of things with his projects that he likes to do in the jazz world, the fusion world. I don't know what Ross Valerie is doing. The current bass player for Journey, I think, is Todd Jensen. And Todd is, I saw him recently a couple of years ago with them. They were okay. Arnell can still sing. God, it feels like Greg Raleigh's coming back. Jonathan Cain has expressed conservative values and some religious stuff, and I know that Neal doesn't like that. Who does Neal like, by the way? I know a couple of years ago at the Crossroads Guitar Festival, he was going to join Santana on stage until he insisted that his wife be backstage, and the Eric Clapton Crossroads people said, no, your wife can't be back there. That's what I've heard. And Santana was pissed off, and they just didn't do it because Neal couldn't work that relationship out after all those years. So John McLaughlin joined Santana on stage, which I enjoyed seeing in person. He wants to do a stadium tour in 26 or 27. He said he wants maybe Bryan Adams to be on part of that package. That'd be cool. I don't know what Neal's doing. Neal certainly now has got his wish. He's got Jonathan gone. He's fully in charge now. He can get somebody to play Jonathan's parts on piano. Bring Greg Raleigh back. Do some of those songs. Do some of the really old school stuff that some of the fans might want to see. I don't know. We'll see if Jonathan Cain makes a statement, if he's officially gone from... I'm looking at Wikipedia right now, and Jonathan Cain is not a member on Wikipedia. It just says Schon, Dane Castronova, Arnel Pineda, Todd Jensen, and Jason Derlaka. Jonathan Cain's not showing up as a member of Journey anymore on Wikipedia forever, whatever that means. Let's go to their website. Let's go to Journey's website, see if he is on there. Let's see if he's on there. JourneyMusic.com. It just says Neal Schon, the music, no upcoming dates, music. That's probably not where I want to see this. It does still say Jonathan Cain there. Who knows? Older rock stars can't get along. We just lost John Lodge today from the Moody Blues. Of course, he had a falling out in 2018 with Justin Hayward. It's endless on bands, even especially as they get even older. They just splinter off. They can't deal with each other anymore. There's no more room for tolerance. Neal loves to run his mouth, talking about the tour in 26. There's going to be massive surprises, planning surprises for 26. Massive tour that's not going to include Jonathan Cain, it sounds like. I'm kind of excited in the sense that to see Greg Raleigh maybe resurface would be awesome. How old's Greg Raleigh? God, he's got to be well into his 70s, right? Greg Raleigh is 78. He'll be 79 next year. Still has the great hair, as Neal does. Not gray at all. Bring Ross Valerie back. I don't care if Steve Smith comes back. I think it'd be great if you did bring Smith, Valerie, Arnel, Schon, and Raleigh back. Who knows? Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Check out my channel. We only talk about great music every day here on Intersection Records. Peace out. See you.